Welcome back to Wroclaw in Poland and the Sky Bowling Centre. Well, we're looking at a superstar just going through her final photo call before heading into this match. Omi Guerra, or Ora Mireia, to give her full name, which condenses down to that lovely nickname Omi, looking to win this title for the third time in a row, and that will be the first time that anyone has ever done that in the history of this competition, which has been running in various guises since 1965. Lekvoesa, just to the right of your picture, you may recognise him, Nobel Prize winner from several years ago, back in the 80s, for his work with the Solidarity Union, initially in Gdansk, here as guest of honour, and will be presenting the trophy at the end. Can Shayna NG, who gets this final underway, spoil what could be quite an amazing party? And this achievement, Cass, if Guerra were to do it, cannot be understated.
Guinness Book of Records time, I'm afraid, yeah. What a fantastic feat that would be. 3 times in a row, triple world champion, World Cup winner. And here is the little powerhouse who's been averaging 229 for every game she's bowled this week, over 36 games. High game of 289. And a couple of 279s in there, which could well have been 300 games. It's just a matter of pin count. Can you get those corner pins out? It's not very often that she is going to miss the 1-3 pocket for the right-hander. And she's carried virtually everything this week to end up in the #1 seeded position. Yet again.
Yeah, Guerra from the Dominican Republic, servicewoman, and has managed to find time to further her bowling career. But this run in the AMF World Cup, truly amazing. Has to come through the domestic qualifiers first of all each time. There is no quota given to the defending champion, which makes this title unique in that respect. But Shayna NG, with a really consummate performance in that semi-final against Kirsten Penny, looks like she knows where she is on the lane. And if she can get the right carry on those pins, then we're going to see quite a few strikes from her. And I wonder if that will unsettle Guerra, who must surely be feeling some pressure with such a massive record on the line. But that's not good from Shayna.
No, that could be an open frame in frame number 2, the 4-6-10 standing.
Let's be honest, Omi needed that after a slightly shaky start, so Shayna has allowed her opponent back into this one. Oh, good try. Very good try at taking that spare out.
Yeah, gave it a shot. Unfortunately, it is the open frame, and Omi Guerra goes into the lead. And that's only after a couple of frames. She won in 2010 in Toulon in France and doubled it up 2011 in Johannesburg, South Africa. And so she's here for the 3rd time, looking to make history. And this is the lady that's going to try and stop her. Carries the late Tim very nicely there for Shayna NG. She's got a strike, an open frame and a strike. But having said that, Simon, I mean, any time on television in a world final, there will be pressure on any bowler. Craig Woodhouse, her coach, standing behind her there.
Oh, the emotions coming through there. There is pressure for Guerra, the 35-year-old. Just letting everybody see how she feels about this right now.
Yes, a double in frames 2 and 3. And a lot of body language. Now, whether that's something that Craig's told her to do. He's the team national team coach for Team Canada. Also does the personal coaching for Omi Guerra.
Beautifully done
for a few years.
Look at that, she is fully fired up. Slightly suppressed atmosphere here at the Sky Bowling Centre. You might not be hearing a lot of applause. That's because the bulk of the crowd, and it is a big crowd, are seated behind that glass partition, so you don't always pick up their reaction. But this is a good crowd. I wonder if the players are just feeling that a little bit, maybe feeling a little disconnected to the crowd.
Yeah, it's a good valid point that you make. I mean, and it's actually Malaysia versus the Dominican Republic, bowled in Poland. So there's Not a lot of local support for either player, I would have thought.
Shayna just needs to settle herself down here, because Guerra is trying to dictate terms. She's also trying to control that space up by those 2 ball returns. And yeah, just a little off her mark at the moment is Shayna.
Yeah, leaves the 2 and the 8 pin. It's a tricky sleeper spare, 1 pin right behind the other. All is clean so far. Spare and 3 strikes, and that's a good looking spare from Shayna NG. Unfortunately, the problem is leaving those spares. It's been such a high scoring tournament that when you leave a spare, it's almost like, well, I haven't bowled a particularly good shot.
A lot of hustle up to that line.
Well,
but my goodness, there's a lot of power.
You can see the power. I was just going to say, the little powerhouse shoots 4 in a row. And you can see the rotation on that ball as it comes off the break point at about 42 feet. And just rips up into the pocket, carries all 10. She's here looking for 5 strikes in a row. And she's well lined up. Great looking shot. She can strike off for a game of 290. Which would be her highest game of the week if she can strike right through 7, 8, 9 and 10.
Well, that would certainly be the way to open up in this final. But remember, it's best of 3, so Shayna NG would not be out of it if she loses this first game. And the pin count is irrelevant, so she just needs to calm it down and find some more sweet strikes like that.
Well, Shayna's had a high game of 279 this week and a 230 average, so she's no way out of this. The scores were so close for the top 3 players. And now it's down to head-to-head 3 games. It's another one.
Yeah, from the coach just behind her.
Well, it's her 5th strike and she's got 2 doubles. It's the open frame that's causing the problem for her. The strikes don't seem that hard to come by, but she had that huge open frame. And we're going for a 6-pack.
Oh, she's playing well. She's playing so well.
Yeah, she's getting perhaps just a little bit of luck on that one. It's a little bit light in the pocket, but you ride your luck, especially if it's going to be a 6-pack. And now she's up for another one.
Really taking her time on this left-hand lane. You get the feeling that this is the one that concerns her. Not 2 pairs of lanes will be alike, especially these 2. Oh, well done. Well done. That meant a lot, that particular strike. And she feels maybe there that she's managed to close the door on this first game. A little bit of work to be done still.
Well, 7 strikes in a row helps any game. It's going to put you 240s if you don't have any open frames. And there's a potential for more. Well, again, we see the 2-8 spare for Shayna. She left this a couple of frames ago. She did pick it up, but it's not a strike. And so consequently, when we goes further ahead.
Done it again, very well taken out.
Yeah, it's a good spare, and she can strike out for 224. Unfortunately, that's below par for the week, and it's certainly going to be, I would think, below Umiguera's first game score, which at the moment still could be 290 if she can strike out. Striking the foundation frame for Shayna. And this is the biggest ball. This strike here in the game is 1. Or the first game is 1.
Yes, this for the perfect start for the defending champion. Just seemed to come off that one a little bit, and she was willing it on.
Fraction high on the head pin. Cut straight through the 1, 3 and the 5 and missed. It didn't deflect off into the 9 pin. Carried straight through. But it's a straightforward single pin spare. I can't imagine that she's going to miss it, and that will be enough to take this opening game. So she's happy. It's a low 5 from the coach.
There's that Guerra smile, though, that we've seen for a couple of years now on the World Cup. Will we see a huge grin to signify 3 in a row by the end of this match? It's not over yet, and I certainly think Shona Ng has bowled well enough to worry Guerra still. Especially, Cass, if Guerra loses her way a little bit on these two.
Well, she certainly hasn't lost her way all week over 36 games, and she looks pretty cool, pretty lined up, and just showing us exactly how good she is. But you never know. You're as good as your last game, and anything can happen.
Do you think the pressure will get to her when she gets close to that winning line, if she does?
I honestly can't see it, but conditions and the environment may change on the lanes. But at the moment, they're holding up under these TV lights. And she's just hit a 269 with 2 single-pin spares. A 9-pin and a 10-pin. Had they gone, we would have had a televised 300 game. She bowled 10 strikes.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. But this is a chance here for a little bit of no-pressure experimentation for Shayna to take into game 2. And, well, whatever she tried there worked.
Yeah, both players playing around second arrow, about 10 inches in from the right-hand channel. And it seems to be working, so they won't change until the lane changes, and they're both well, in the pocket well in the last frame here. 224 for Shayna if she can get one more strike.
You can see from Shayna's reaction there, the body language, she's thinking, well, where were those strikes when I needed them earlier in this game? But I think you've got to try and spin that. You've got to turn that on its head and be thinking, well, I'm in now. Let's take it into the second game and level this up.
Yes, absolutely. Has to move on from the open frame. The 2 spares. She knows she can get in that 1-3 pocket. It's just literally a carry contest. And that's the way to finish. 4 strikes in a row. A game of 224.
So Guerra takes the first one, but signs from Shona Ng that she is coming into some form now in this final. And maybe just calming herself down after that initial pressure, that wonderful run of strikes from Guerra setting up the 269 to take the first game. And the defending champion, well, don't celebrate yet, oh mate. You've still got another one to win, but she's on her way to make it 3 in a row.